Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connection video where we're exploring the crystal known as the Lemurian Jade. Now, jade is a name given to two different crystals that is found around the world, both jadeite and nephrite. Now, they are so similar that often it can be hard to tell the difference. Normally, this crystal is green, but it also comes in other colors such as black, white, yellow, blue, and purple. Now, Lemurian Jade is found in South America and is also sometimes known as Incan Jade, where ancient civilizations in the past would use this stone for religious amulets and statues and so on. This is a combination of these different jades, and you can see here, you can sometimes get this green version of the Lemurian Jade and sometimes a black version that sometimes they'll also have little bits of pyrite in them as well. Other names for these, sometimes this will be called Shadow Lemurian Jade and Midnight Lemurian Jade, but overall I've found that generally they have very similar energy. In this video, we're going to explore how you can work with Lemurian Jade from South America, much revered by the Incans and possibly the ancient civilization of Lemuria as well, and bring those benefits into your own life each and every day. If you've been watching my channel for quite a while, my guess is that you're starting to get quite a big crystal collection and that you really feel this drawing to these gifts from Mother Earth. Well, I really feel that Lemurian Jade is a great one to have in your collection. This is really a great asset for anyone who is serious about getting a really strong connection with Mother Nature and the planet that we call home. So this is a really great one for helping to unveil the deeper secrets, to dive a little bit deeper, to kind of go for what is our mission here on Earth. So we often kind of explore, why did I incarnate on Earth? What's my gift to give and what do I have to share? But when we think about it, we also chose to incarnate on this planet. So part of our plan is to have a relationship with this planet. And Lemurian Jade can actually help you to form a really strong connection to the Earth and understand what your role for the Earth is. Now, maybe that may be teaching people about environmental, welfare, or looking after animals, or just making sure that when you build a home, you build an eco home, or just living in a more eco way. But remembering that you are in relationship with this earth. And as you form that deeper relationship and understanding and a spiritual connection and spiritual relationship with the earth, you can actually find support from the earth, and you'll find that its secrets, its wisdom, its healing, its guidance will all start to come through you. You'll actually find that your crystals will actually start to sing or whisper or talk a little bit more, or maybe you'll be able to rely on them just a little bit more for support when you're feeling scared or miserable or depressed or anxious or need a burst of happiness or energy. They'll sing a little bit more. This, I guess, is a crystal of ancient people and ancient lands and ancient secrets, and it works as a key to unlock the door to take you to the next level, to get a deeper connection to crystals and Mother Earth as a whole. In talking about the earth and connection to the earth and working in harmony with the earth, we can't go past looking at the namesake civilization of this crystal, and that are the Lemurians. Have you heard of Lemuria before? You've probably heard of Atlantis. Now, that was somewhere up in the northern hemisphere. The Lemurians were said to be a civilization that lived around the southern hemisphere in a great landmass that probably encompassed parts of South America, Australia, New Zealand, India, Madagascar, and the Pacific Islands. These people were renowned for being living in harmony with each other. They were they all sat in a circle where everyone had their different gift, but everyone was equal. They lived in harmony with nature. They worked with crystals. They programmed crystals, such as the Lemurian seed crystals, and probably worked with jade in different healing capacities as well. By using Lemurian Jade, it can actually help you to venture on back, and maybe holding a Lemurian Jade and your Lemurian seed crystal at the same time can help you to venture back to the wisdom of these great people in these great times and find what healing you can bring forward for yourself, for the people you know, for the whole community of the planet, all of humanity, and for the planet as well. So when you want to connect deeper with the Lemurian energy, try your Lemurian Jade. When we look out in nature, nature is always seeking balance. We see there is always an equal balance to the seasons, of the hot and the cold. Around me right now, you can see there is life as the new green grasses are shooting up amongst the trees, and then there are trees that have fallen over and are starting to decay. There is always balance. Nature always seeks that and reminds us to do the same. So when you're feeling out of balance, using this crystal, Lemurian Jade, as an access to bring us back into nature's balancing properties is really, really great. So this can work in a whole range of different ways. First of all, I find it's really good for balancing our masculine and feminine sides. Now, regardless of what gender you identify as, this is really great for bringing both sides. We have both gender energies within us. We have divine feminine and divine masculine. The divine feminine side of us is that side that is nurturing, is intuitive, is feeling, is sensing, is make sure that we're loving what we're doing and we're giving it our heart. The divine masculine side is that objective, logical, looking for solutions, expansive, goal-orientated, very structured in that way. And we need both. The masculine gets us out of bed in the morning and gets us doing what we need to do, and the feminine makes sure that we're enjoying it and doing it with heart. If we don't have one of them, then we feel either that we're doing things without love, or we're doing things lovelessly and we're not enjoying our life, or we're doing things without purpose, or we're not getting anywhere if we just have that feminine. So Lemurian Jade can really help to balance these two energies within your life as well. Why I think Lemurian Jade is really starting to grow in popularity as well is in this balance of masculine and feminine, there are many people that are identifying now as being non-binary, as kind of dancing between the masculine and feminine energies in a lot more fluid way. Now, this for some people can be a bit of a challenge. For the people that are finding and trying to identify where they fit on that gender scale, and also for other people around them who are so used to that kind of, you're a boy or a girl, and that fluidity can be hard to deal with. For whoever that may be, whether you're dealing with your own gender identity or someone else's gender identity, Lemurian Jade is really great for helping us to understand that as well. Now, it's not just about masculine and feminine that Lemurian Jade helps us with. It can help us with our relationships, especially our intimate relationships with whoever we're living with, or our lover or lovers. So it's really good for helping to dissolve friction or tension. It's got a very calming, soothing, nurturing energy about it. It's also really good for helping us to get that fine balance between being independent individuals, but also relying on each other as well. Realizing which each person's strengths and weaknesses, and how we can actually fill in those gaps so that as a couple, we're actually more powerful than the two individuals separately. So this is a really beautiful crystal for bringing harmony in your life and in all of your relationships. So whenever you need to a bit more balance, definitely reach for your Lemurian Jade. I find with Lemurian Jade, there's a real kind of strength and tenacity that is kind of within this crystal that it passes on to its guardian, whoever's working with it. This is a really great crystal for, first of all, protecting you from illness. So if you're worried, if you're going out somewhere, maybe in winter, or there's a lot of people sick around you, and you just want to kind of boost your energy a little bit more so you're not susceptible to how everyone else is feeling, Lemurian Jade can be a really great one for that. But being a green crystal, of course, green crystals help with growth, harmony, and health as well. So if you are currently ill or you're trying to recover from illness, this is really great. I know when I'm not feeling 100%, doing all those things that we know are good for us, eating right, exercising, getting fresh air, all those different things become a little bit more of a struggle. But this crystal really gives you that tenacity to do what you know is right. Sometimes self-discipline and doing what you know is best for you is a form of self-love. And this is exactly what Lemurian Jade helps you to do. It can also be really protective from draining energies that could actually start to zap your energy and make you start feeling sick. This crystal can be worn or carried or just kept around to keep you feeling your optimum well-being on a physical level, but also on an energetic level as well. For this reason, it's sometimes known as the traveler's stone. When we're traveling, we're out and about and we're in different environments. We don't know what we'll be exposed to. So if you're going out to explore the world, make sure you've got a bit of Lemurian Jade nearby. If you've had a rough start to life, then Lemurian Jade is definitely going to help to give you that strength and tenacity as well. Just as it helps you to overcome physical illness and things that have dragged you down in the past, if you've been subjected to abuse or torment or any kind of suffering, rather than allowing that to break you, Lemurian Jade helps you to give you that tenacity and that strength to actually elevate you and inspire you to go forward. It helps us to kind of resurrect our sense of faith and hope in the world. And this is actually a good luck crystal, as many jades are considered to be one of good fortune and abundance, to help move forward life in a more positive way. Just because the past has not treated you the way that you would have loved, it doesn't mean that the future needs to play that same script as well. as we find strength, as we start to look for opportunities and start to find a bit more positivity about the future, and Lemurian Jade will help us to do this, this will find the universe will start to match that new vibration that you'll hold. You see, jade often symbolizes the great virtues of humanity: wisdom, compassion, justice, modesty, and courage. So if you're wanting to bring those into your life a little bit more and kind of find that balance and go forward in a more poised and composed manner, then this is a great crystal to support you in doing so. All varieties of jade are renowned for promoting more dreams, but you may be scared of dreaming too much. Maybe you've had bad dreams in the past. Well, try placing a bit of jade in your pillow slip. Now, if you're worried about nightmares, then definitely this black, the Midnight Lemurian Jade, is a really great one to help get rid of all those nightmares. And putting a bit of juniper berry essential oil on your feet can also help as well. But if you want to remember your dreams and have better dream recall, then the green Lemurian Jade or the shadow Lemurian Jade can help you to bring those kind of subconscious and guiding messages from those places that we're not always aware of and bring them to the forefront. Placing either one or a little bit of each in your pillow slip can really help you to use your dreams as a new form of, I guess, guidance and your intuition talking to you, and you to understand what's truly playing out within your psyche. So I think it's beneficial for all of us to have our dreams, remember our dreams, and learn from our dreams. And Lemurian Jade will really help you to do that. Before you start working with your Lemurian Jade, or if you've been using it quite a lot, it's a really good idea to bring it back to its natural balance. And of course, Lemurian Jade is going to love being out in nature. The best way to cleanse Lemurian Jade, I've found, is by placing it on or in the earth and leaving it there overnight. Now make sure if you're going to bury it somewhere that you leave a marker so you can find it in the morning. Because in the past, I've lost a crystal or two by not marking it very well at all. But that can be a really nice way to cleanse this crystal. Now, you can also bring in other gifts of nature that will really help you to harmonize and kind of work with the other kingdoms as well and bring more out from your crystals. Now, first of all, from the plant kingdom, I love to work with an oil called Copaiba. Copaiba comes from the same landmass as Lemurian Jade. That, of course, is South America. So Copaiba are these massive trees, and the oil comes from the resin within that tree. Basically, Copaiba really helps you get to the soul and the spirit of who you are. And at the top of this video, I talked about how beneficial it can be to really find out what our soul's connection to this earth is and what our role on this planet actually is. Copaiba helps you identify who you are and has that real kind of grounding ability as well. So they work really nicely together. Now, when it comes to animal guides, an animal that comes really strongly with the Lemurian energy and with this kind of Lemurian Jade energy is the water dragon. Now, when we think about the water dragon, it kind of has this attachment to all of the four elements. First of all, it's a reptile, and all reptiles, being cold-blooded, they rely on the sun and heat, so they have an attachment to fire. Being a water dragon, when they're scared, they'll dive into water, and some of them can actually sit underwater for up to an hour holding their breath, so they've got a connection to water. They do live on the land though, so they are earth living, and they breathe air, so they've got that air element as well. We've been talking about balance. We've been talking about, elemental energy and that attachment to nature and all that type of thing. The water dragon really kind of encompasses that as well. So you can hold your Lemurian Jade. You can smell some Copaiba essential oil, and you can close your eyes and visualize a water dragon right near you. If that water dragon could speak to you, what would it say? And that guidance can be one way that the crystal's energy and the crystal's messages can come to you from the animal kingdom or via the animal kingdom as well. Astrologically, I like to pair this crystal with either Venus or the asteroid Ceres, which represents the goddess who was the mother of fertility and abundant earth, and she'd put all the leaves on the trees and the fruits on the trees, and the grains would grow thanks to her blessing. So her energy Ceres, which is about nourishment and nurturing, is also really great. Now, of course, Venus rules Friday, so Friday is going to be your best day to work with your Lemurian Jade. Now, have you worked with Lemurian Jade? Have you got the green, the black? Have you noticed a big difference between the two, or do you find that they're quite similar? I'd love to hear about your experiences, and so with the rest of our nature-loving community. Please share your experiences by leaving a comment below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.